Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Honorable Orrin Hatch, U.S. Senator.
Well, the cowboy folk go to boogie. I got a good job. I work hard for my money when it's quitting time.
I'm really honored to be with you here today, and wasn't that something last night? I really enjoyed every second of it. Those of us in Utah, we understand Mitt Romney better than most people because we were in real trouble. We were $400 million in debt. We couldn't get money to pay for the Olympics. There were accusations of fraud, mismanagement, even criminal allegations. They were wrong, but they were there. Everything was stultified. It looked like it was going to be the biggest eyesore in the history of the Olympic movement. We brought Mitt Romney in overnight. He brought the best financial people in, the best leadership that we've ever seen in the Olympics, put on the best Winter Olympics in the history of the Olympic movement, and we wound up with a $100 million surplus to keep the venues alive afterwards. Now that's leadership. Not only that, but Mitt Romney then becomes governor of Massachusetts. It was $3 billion in the hole. That's when $1 billion was a lot of money. $3 billion in the hole, and really having very difficult time. He turned that all around, balanced the budget all 4 years, cut taxes 19 times, and did it all with the state legislature. It was 87% opposed to almost everything he did. And I thought one of the most profound things he said last night, it was really, really good, was that he worked with Democrats and Republicans to resolve these problems and get Massachusetts back on track. That's the kind of leadership we've got to have. The fact of the matter is that the United States Senate is stultified because the Democrats, Harry Reid calls up a bill, then he files cloture, accuses us of filibustering when we have no intention to, then he builds up the parliamentary tree so that you can't have any amendments in the greatest deliberative body in the world, and the only recourse we have is the filibuster until we can get some amendments. And they've been doing that now for all these years, and frankly, we've got to change the leadership in the United States Senate, and we've got to get the Senate back, and we've got to get both the House and the Senate working together. And just think about this. This country's at a real crossroads. We can't continue the way we're going. The president is a charming man, no question about it. He looked on the defensive. Oh, no, wait. Let's well, let me put it another way. He's a very likable man, but let me just say this. Well, let me put it another way. Now, the president's, he's a very smart guy. There's no question. But you saw last night that the president's very smart as long as he's using teleprompters. Now, don't sell him short. He is a very smart guy, and he's got a tremendous media behind him. About 95% of the mainstream media is behind him and not with Mitt Romney. And it's amazing that Romney has come as far as he has with the kind of media we have in this country that doesn't give him a chance at all. We have simply got to change this country. We have got to get the Senate back. The Senate is absolutely critical. We've got to get control of that Senate Finance Committee, where 60% of all the spending is. We have got to get real about entitlement programs. We can't keep going the way we've been going. We've got to do the things that will pull this country out of the morass that it's in. And there's one guy who can do it, coupled with a Congress that he'll work with, and that's Mitt Romney, and we better all know it. Now, let me tell you something. I happen to be a member of the Mormon faith. One of the greatest things Mitt Romney is going to do for us is he's going to stand up for religious freedom. Let me just give you one homey illustration. Tyndall House is one of the largest Christian publishing companies in the country. With what this president has done and is trying to do, they are not about to put up with paying for abortifacients for their employees. And so they've sued the United States of America to be able to be free and to have the religious freedom and not have the government tell them what they got to do when they personally find it morally repugnant to do. And we've got to all stand up for religious freedom. One last thing, we in Utah understand a lot about it. We love Colorado, by the way. You're our neighboring state. We think you do a terrific job. Let me just say this in closing, though. This fellow died. He went up to St. Peter, and he said, "Where do I go from here?" And Peter said, "You're a borderline case." He said, "You have your choice. You can either go to heaven or down below. Of course, I know which one you're going to choose." And the man said, "Well, don't be so sure." He said, "How about telling me the differences between the two?" And Peter said, "Well, heaven," he said, "that's a land of smooth-flowing brooklets and streams and green forests and green pasture land and good companionship and everything." He said, "Hell, all that is one old hot, vast, dry desert." And the guy said, "Well, you know, I kind of like the heat." And Peter thought, "Oh, gosh." So on the way down to the gates of hell, Peter explained the differences again, but the guy relentlessly wanted to go there. And finally, they got down to the gates of hell, and Peter said, "Look, fella, the joke's gone far enough." He said, "Heaven's a land of smooth-flowing brooklets and streams and green forests and green pasture land and good companionship and everything." He said, "This place is just one old hot, vast, dry desert." And the guy said, "Well, I like the heat. It's good enough for me." And Peter said, "Okay, Buster, you made your choice." He opened up the gates, and he looked in there, and there are smooth, babbling brooklets and streams and green forests and green pasture land. And Peter said, "Oh, those damn Mormons, they've been irrigating again." Let me close by saying this. They're going to get frustrated and clutched before, and when I say they, I'm talking about the Ebola people. Before the end of this race, they're going to be so clutched that they're going to start attacking Mitt Romney's religious feelings. And let me tell you something, get prepared for it, because I know that's what's going to happen. And frankly, all we Mormons want to do, all we really want to do, is live the wonderful teachings of Jesus Christ and support Israel in the process. And let me just close by saying this organization is a pivotal organization. It's critical to our country. It has been with us from the beginning. I can't tell you the times when you've stood behind me and done the things that have to be done. You're doing what's right. I love you. I appreciate you. Just know that we're on the verge of really turning this country around, and every one of us have got to give everything we can to do it. God bless America. God bless all of you.